I passed the test a couple weeks ago. I got my private pilot's license. It took about a year and 3 months. I got a lot of videos on it. My last video I posted was my first solo. A lot happened pretty quickly since then, and flew about an hour and a half to Wisconsin Rapids, middle of Wisconsin, and took this test about 4 hours and ended up passing. So it was a great flight back, and I'm sitting here today. I'm going to go up for my first flight since. It's been a couple weeks, like I said, and just kind of go through it, give my thoughts on how it went, any tips that I have. I'm going to get out of the Class C. Once I get out of Class C, then I'll be able to go through it. So let's get out of here. Milwaukee clearance 739 Alpha Papa.
That's the 739 Alpha Papa, Milwaukee clearance, hello.
9 Alpha Papa, VFR to the north at 3,500. I have information uniform.
That's the 739 Alpha Papa, maintain VFR 3,500, departure frequency 125.35, your squawk code 4662.
At 3,500, 12535, squawk 4662, 9 Alpha Papa.
9 Alpha Papa, read back is correct.
All right, over to ground, 121.8. Milwaukee ground, 739 Alpha Papa. Is that signature ready to taxi?
That's the 9 Alpha Papa, you need to run up.
Negative run up.
That's the 9 Alpha Papa, wind at the field 050 at 9er. I could give you an intersection for 1 left or 7 left.
Let's do 7 left, 9 Alpha Papa.
9 Alpha Papa, runway 7 left, taxi via Foxtrot Charlie, cross runway 13.
7 left, Foxtrot Charlie, cross 13, 9 Alpha Papa.
That's the 9 Alpha Papa, fly runway heading, runway 7 left, clear for takeoff.
7 left, flying runway heading, 9 Alpha Papa.
At 757 Lima Golf, Milwaukee Tower, wind 050 at 8, runway 1 left, clear to land, traffic depart 7 left, Skyhawk. Clear to land, runway 1 left, clear off.
And we are clear the obstacle. Gonna get some speed. Get these flaps up to 0. And then we can fly out at 70. It wasn't exactly a short field takeoff, just because I had some urgency with Juliet landing on 1, but flying runway heading.
Tower Southwest 3079, south side, back up.
That's the 9 Alpha Papa, turn left heading 010, contact departure.
Left 010, over departure, thank you, 9 Alpha Papa.
Southwest 3079, Milwaukee Tower, wind 050 at 7, runway 1 left, clear to land.
Runway 1 left, Southwest 3079.
Southwest 645, field till 10 o'clock, 12 miles. Southwest 645, quick visual approach, runway 1 left, maintain 170 knots till 5 out, contact the tower, meet us. Run 12 X-ray traffic, 2 o'clock, 2 miles northwestbound, indicating 3,900.
Affirmative, 9 Alpha Papa.
And Alpha Papa, roger. You can resume your navigation.
No navigation, 9 Alpha Papa. Alright, gonna level off at 3,500. Fly over the beautiful city of Milwaukee. Sun's going down. We're gonna have a great sunset here. Not a lot of people get to see Milwaukee from this angle. In a small plane like this. I'm blessed to have gotten my pilot's license. We'll see what happens. If you visit MilwaukeeAero.com, actually the abbreviation MKEAero.com, it's a website that me and my team created. AlphaDigitalPro.com. We did a deal where we did all of their branding and website, and I did a lot of videos for them to put on the website to drum up some business, and in return I got to have Jamie as a flight instructor, and got my pilot's license. Took about a year and 3 months. Could have been sooner, but I went to Austin for a month for business. Man, just a beautiful little city this is. Gonna lean it out, we're at cruise. Get some altitude, back to 35. We got some new buildings in Milwaukee.
3018. What do you think?
Man, cannot wait for summer. Milwaukee in the summer is just fantastic. Winter is brutal.
4670.
Absolutely brutal. But you deal with it to get to the summers because they are some of the best in the state, especially northern Wisconsin.
3018. We switched to 7 right. Do you still want the visual to 1 left?
So anyways, I had I wasn't necessarily nervous for this flight. I was very excited because it was in Wisconsin Rapids. I'm in Milwaukee, so it's about an hour and a half flight to Wisconsin Rapids, and then an hour and a half back. So the funny part to this is if I flew this hour and a half and didn't pass, I had an endorsement half written out by Jamie
contact 12 miles west of
that if I were to fail, then I have my endorsement to get back. The flight of shame, as it would have been. But luckily it was not. I passed. I was over prepared for it, thanks to Jamie and actually the whole crew there at Milwaukee Aero helping me through this, being supportive. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos. They were pretty accurate. I would say they were pretty accurate, but there was nothing like being there. I thought I wasn't nervous, but I kind of had brain farts here and there.
We can contact the tower now. 124.
I was pretty nervous, but it was the excitement was much more than the nervousness. So, anyways, it started out. A lot of the YouTube videos that I watch, they asked like, "What do you need for the plane to be legal? What do you need for you to be legal?" And this guy just went, "Show me that you're legal to fly." And it kind of stunned me because he just wanted everything all at once. So I had to remember, the pedostatic transponder, the ELT, the 100, the annual, that whole list. And on top of that, everything that I need on my person to be able to do this. And then endorsements. We went through, I tabbed out the book for the solo, the hours of solo, the hours across country, the night landings. And we kind of just went through that, and I proved that I was legal. So once, and it is absolutely incredible to just hop in a plane, fly out of Milwaukee,
6140, descend and maintain 4000,
and just putt around up here in the thoughts. So once we proved I was legal, we went right into stalls and spins. And I've never done a spin before, so I don't really know. I was a little nervous. I knew it. What I didn't know was the elevator at the end. So we got stalls, the wing stalls. They're both stalled in a stall, but one is more stalled than the other. And then we got into the procedures of stall recovery, procedures of a spin recovery. And what I missed, and he kind of backtracked, but what I missed at the end, or eventually got to, was that you had to decrease the angle of attack to get yourself out of that spin. Elevator forward, decrease the angle of attack, and then you're going to pull yourself out. So we got through that pretty painlessly. The most trouble that I had, pretty much right after that, we went into the sectional. And I'm used to the Chicago sectional, but for this one I had to buy the Green Bay sectional, which I wasn't really used to. The sectional came in a few days before my exam, or before the check ride, So I didn't have a whole lot of time to study it, but again, it's simulations. He was asking about VORs, simulations. If it was stormy out, what are the cloud clearance in the different areas, the different airspaces, and then a simulation of how to, if I was to go from this place to this place, what are the classes of airspace that I can with a simulated thunderstorm or a simulated cloud cover, and what I would do. He did test my safety, so a lot of times, you take out the checklist, you run through the checklist.
Maintain 2,600, field 12 o'clock, 20 miles.
Once we were done with the sectional, it was pretty painless once again.
6140, quick visual approach.
We got into, so he talks about VOR, he talks about MOAs, talks about restricted sections. Just kind of pointed out like things on the sectional. I can't really remember anything specific. It was mainly broad, but knowing cloud clearance and what you have to fly at if the clouds are at a certain level to get into a certain space. So no, obviously G, magenta, solid magenta, gradient magentas.
Hey, Tango Romeo, Roger, you can proceed on course.
That kind of stuff. We got into aircraft systems, and we didn't do any aerodynamics. I was really prepared for aerodynamics. Didn't really do any aerodynamics. Maybe because he knew it right in the beginning with stalls and spins that I explained it pretty well. That we didn't have to get into, lift, weight, power, drag kind of thing, or the different types of drag. We got into, we didn't even get to the 4 left turning tendencies, which I studied a lot.
If you want to talk to them now.
We got into scuba, but I just basically said I'd look into it at the time. We didn't get into any oxygen requirements, but we got into systems. In systems, I nailed 100%. The pedostatic system, how it's run, which ones are gyroscopic, which ones run off of electrical, a little bit on how the gyro works. Power, where the power is generated from, which is from the engine powering the, whatever it is, to get the suction. We didn't do any magneto questions, but absolutely nailed all of the instruments, so that was pretty damn fast. Going through instruments. We went through that pretty damn fast. We took a break for lunch. He left, he grabbed a burger. I brought a lunch. 100% would recommend bringing a lunch. I just picked up a turkey sandwich that I kept cold. I brought some beef jerky and a water bottle, so that was honestly a lifesaver, 100%. Because this is 4 hours at the very least, and then you're I was an hour and a half there, hour and a half back. So, geez, that's 3 hours plus 4. So it was a 7-hour day. It was a very long day. Very long day. But he went and got a burger. He came back. I was sitting in the plane already, and then it was pretty standard. We got up in the air. I made my calls. This was a non-towered airport. Made my calls, got up in the air. I would recommend talking through everything. And I was used to this with Jamie. Everything that I did, I would just talk out loud. So that's the same thing, is talk out loud through everything that you did, or get used to talking out loud. It helped me learn, but it also helped him be confident that I knew what I was doing. Because for everything, I just kind of talk out loud and monologue what I was doing. And I prefaced that in the beginning. I asked him if I should do a briefing. He said I don't need to, but if I wanted to. And so I did my standard briefing, but I also said, hey, I'm going to monologue through everything just because it helps me make sure that I'm ready for it. And also, so he understands that that I know what I'm doing. So we got in the air. First thing that he said was, okay, there's no GPS, no nothing. Bring out your sectional, and I want you to identify these 3 landmarks as we go from, you know, point A to point B, whatever was in my flight log that we were simulating. So we got up to, you know, 45,000 feet. That's the, we're going east.
Radar service terminated, squawk the bar, frequency change approved,
That was the,
start chair 702 Milwaukee departure radar.
the altitude that I picked. And then we just flew along,
Maintain 130,000.
and I picked out the landmarks, and then he said, okay, what's this in front of us? And I was like, okay, that's going to be Minneapolis, because I saw a bunch of lights.
Maintain 1.
Then we got into steep turns, and he said, I want 2 360s to the left. And I was like, damn, I've never done 2 360s. We've always done 1 360, and then you roll out on your heading, right? 2 360s less. I'm like, are you sure you want 2 360s? Guy's like, yep, 2 360s. So he was testing me, obviously. But it was flawless. Kept my altitude, 2 360s, right out on my heading. At the end, he said my 360s were excellent. We did 1 to the right. And then he didn't let me choose if I wanted to do like an S,
702, contact
but he did the 360 around a spot. But because I explained it, I was like, okay,
Sorry, how far north are you flying?
all right, we're starting out downwind as you always do. I'm going to start my 360, and this is going to be, my ground speed is at its highest, so this is going to be the steepest turn. And he said, that's great. When is it going to be the least steep? And I said, opposite side. And he's like, all right, pull out of this, we're done. And that's all he really wants, again, is just so you know what you're doing. Know exactly, you know, that you make sense of why you're doing this.
That's the 739 Alpha Papa, how far north are you flying?
And Alpha Papa, repeat.
And Alpha Papa, how far north are you going to fly?
I'm going to make probably another 20 minutes, and then I'm going to turn around.
9 Alpha Papa, roger. Number 9 Sierra Papa, proceed to Waukesha, going to maintain 7,000.
All right, I told him 20 minutes. We're going to set the timer here. Turn back around. It's
9 Alpha Papa, contact Milwaukee approach 127.37. Have a good day.
12737. Over to approach. Have a good day, 9 Papa.
Dr. Papa, yep, you can proceed to Waukesha.
Milwaukee approach 739 Alpha Papa's with you.
That's 9 Alpha Papa, Milwaukee approach, Josh, altimeter 3015.
All right. Gonna continue on right along the lake here. Wish everything was greener, but you know it's beginning of April, so a little brown.
Jack 737 Papa Whiskey, Milwaukee approach.
But very soon, we're going to get into the summers of Milwaukee. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to have my pilot's license. So I've already got invited, because of these videos, I got invited to some hangar parties before Oshkosh. So I'm going to fly down to Racine for a hangar party. Going to be my first one. I'm going to hopefully go with Jamie. Him and his wife are going to, or fiance, going to take one of the planes. And then me and my fiance Megan will probably take another plane, head down to Racine, and check out this little party here and meet some more people in the aviation community in Milwaukee and Wisconsin in the area. But anyways, yeah, so after we got through steep turns, we did the point around, and you know, one thing I might have missed, we did engine out, and this is where I almost failed, was engine out. So engine out, okay, emergency descent, we went through emergency descent, that was fine. He kind of, we didn't even do, it was kind of like a mix between engine out and a fire, emergency descent. So he said, okay, plane's on fire, what do you do? And I got into my 45 degree, I picked up speed, vertical speed went as much, I pulled the power, and he said, plane's on fire. You know, what I didn't do is I didn't turn off the fuel selector or pull the mixture. So he said, okay, we're getting down, fire's getting bigger, what are you gonna do? And that's when I was like, oh, I gotta pull the mixture, cut the fuel off from the engine. So that's exactly what I did. Fuel came off from the engine, and then he said, okay, engine fire's out, what are you gonna do? And I was like, well, I'm not gonna start the engine because of the fire, so we're going to do an emergency landing. He said, take me through your emergency landing procedures, A, B, C, D, E. Went through A, B, C, D, E checklist, and I picked a spot and basically talked out loud where the winds were coming from. And he said, we're going to get down to about 50 feet, so make this emergency landing count. And so we did. We got down to about 50 feet, and I had plenty of space for this emergency landing. And he said, all right, pull us out. Let's go back to the airport. And I didn't really realize it, but that was part of the test, understanding where you're at. I think that was like dead reckoning. Understanding where you're at. And then...
There's a 46 Quebec, Milwaukee Aero,
and then we went back to Wisconsin Rapids, where we started doing landings, takeoffs and landings. So that was pretty standard. We did short field takeoff, soft field, short field landings and takeoffs, soft field landings and takeoffs. The only thing that I was prepared for that he didn't do was the short field landing. He said I didn't have to hit a spot. So I wasn't prepared for that. I was always prepared to hit a spot. But nope, I was able to just do a short field and brake. And the whole point of it, he said, was just to clear an obstacle, not necessarily to hit a spot. And then, you know, soft field went well. After the landings, we did a full stop, went back and we did our takeoffs. And that was basically that. We did crosswind, we did slips, but actually most of them I slipped on anyways, so he kind of didn't have to do slips, or that's what he told me, didn't do slips because I slipped on most of them. Just because I tend to come in a little bit high. My instructor taught me, and I 100% believe this because it makes a lot of sense, but if you come in high and engine goes out, you can always come down, but you can't go up. And if you're too low on a landing and you go out too far, engine goes out on these landings, you can't get up. You can only go down, and you're not going to make it. So I always make sure on landings, and I agree with it, I'm glad that he went through this with me that way, that if engine goes out at any point of these landings, that I'm able to make that runway, or at least make the grass. So that was that. We landed, and we went back to the FBO, went inside, and he said absolutely nothing. He sat down, he goes, all right, we're going to go through this together. And I was like, oh crap, did I not pass? Like, what did I not pass on? And he went through everything. He said everything was good. The steep turns were excellent. Landings were good. And he said the only thing that wasn't good was I didn't pull, like I said, the mixture on the engine fire. And he said he's failed people before on that, but because I registered that, you know, I need to cut that fuel to the engine to put out the fire, hypothetically, that he passed me, and now I'll never forget that. So I'm glad that that happened. That's in my head. Where are we at? We are at about 8 minutes. Sun is... Oh, we got plenty of sun. And fuel is looking good. We got 25 gallons of fuel, so we are perfectly good. Anyways, and then he just got up. He walked over to a computer, and I'm still sitting there, and I'm like, I must have passed. I must have passed, right? He's not. So he entered some stuff in the computer. He told me to come over. I had assigned some stuff, and he like finally was like, I guess I should congratulate you.
Contact Green Bay Pro 2623 today.
And I was like, yeah, thank you. That's, he's like, you can be happy now. You can, because I was, you know, very serious and adrenaline, but also I was wiped. And like I said, I brought beef jerky, I brought the sandwich, I brought a lot of water, because obviously I needed brain power. So I had to fill up, and it's funny because we're at Signature in this flight school at Class C airspace airport. So they always fill up the tanks. They always bring out the plane for us. So I was like, hey, can you? I made sure I passed before I asked him this, and I was like, hey, can you please like tell me how to, or show me how to fill up an airplane, because I've never filled up an airplane before. So he briefed me on how to do that, filled up the plane, and as if I wasn't already almost at zero mentally, now I had this hour-and-a-half flight back. Luckily, I had the winds with me this time, so that hour-and-a-half was actually probably about an hour, hour 10. Made it all the way back to Milwaukee. Sun was setting just like this. It was a beautiful sunny day. And that was that. That was the end of it. My fiance picked me up, and I texted my dad. I texted some people. Jamie called me.
Now are you getting to a different fix prior?
And we went through it, and man, it was it was an incredible experience. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't as much nerves as it was just excitement and the privilege to be able to go through this experience. I mean, that's really what it was all about. Oh yeah, you have the pilot's license, but you know, they always say it's about the journey, right? And the journey of getting your pilot's license, there is nothing, I have never experienced anything like it, the journey of getting your pilot's license. And guess what? Now I'm sitting here alone, confidence is high, and I just get to fly over where I was born, where I grew up, and just see it from a different perspective. And I do videography. I own a digital marketing company. We've been doing really well. We're growing. The company's making money. We're up and down revenue-wise, but we keep the same clients because we do a great job. And you know, I'll shout it out right now, but it's what we do is it's a group of young people who are very good at 3 aspects of digital marketing: web development, content, and digital ads. And so videography is a big backbone. That's why if you go to mkaero.com, there's videos all over it. And there's even my very first flight with Jamie, my very first lesson is on there. And there's beautiful, beautiful banner image, or banner video. And so what we do is we create content for the website, for email marketing, for social media, for digital ads, and we sell companies and products. And we do a damn good job at it. And all of it is analytically based, so we can prove our return. So blessed to do that, because that allowed me to have the time to get my pilot's license, because a lot of this work is remote. And I specialize in videography, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get more video clients that I can fly to. Maybe I'll be able to buy my own plane someday, something faster, and be able to fly to remote towns, remote areas for like construction companies, architecture companies, whatever it may be, and companies at a lower cost, because I can bring 1 or 2 people, and you don't have to pay $1,000+ for your plane ticket there and back. I could rent a plane for a few $100 for 2 or 3 of us. So who knows where it's gonna take me. I really don't know where it's going to take me, but if you have any opportunities for me, I do very good videography work, and that's actually the backbone to digital marketing, is great content, selling people emotionally through video and photo content. So anyways, that was that. I'm excited. We'll see where it takes me. Obviously, I have to be safe. I have to be a competent pilot. And I'm going to try to rack up as many hours as I can in the next year, mainly because I want to become safe and proficient and get my 500 hours. I always hear that below 500 hours, a lot of accidents happen. Above 500, that statistic, those percentages drastically lower. So I'm going to learn as much as I can. It's in my 500 hours, so I feel safe and confident taking family or co-workers to go do jobs. But we'll see where this takes me. Anyways, I'm gonna be done with the spiel. It's been 15 minutes since I told him 20 minutes. So I'm gonna just sign off and enjoy this flight. If you want to stay with me, enjoy the flight with me, the flight back. I'll probably show you the landing back into Milwaukee. So thank you for watching. If you made it far, I hope I gave you some insight on private pilots, or the journey through it and what it meant to me. Hey, hit that like and subscribe button. This is a long journey for me. I know I don't have a whole abundance of content, but I have every single lesson, or just about every single lesson, in 360. And they're over an hour long, but if you want to go through every single lesson, there is a ton of valuable information in these lessons. A ton. And I'm hoping to continue I will be making content in the future. I don't know how that's going to manifest, but I would appreciate if you supported and came along the journey. And the goal is always to inform people, making good decisions and giving good information. All right, we'll start making our way back. I'm going to drop down in altitude a little bit. Get a better view of this.
Thompson 6040, Milwaukee approach, altimeter 3018, after chatter, descend with maintain 13,000. Straight wing 3784, Milwaukee approach, altimeter 3018, expect practice for the visual approach, runway 7 right. Gemini 521, clear visual approach, runway 1 left, maintain speed 170 knots, better until 5 miles 5 left.
Still negative contact on that traffic, 9 Papa.
And then Alpha Papa, Roger, moving near 12 o'clock, about 4 miles south, 2,700.
Traffic in sight, 9 Papa.
Alpha Papa, Roger, you can make straight in for runway 7 left again, caution range turbulence, contact the tower.
Straight in for 7 left, contact the tower, thanks so much, 9 Papa. Tower 739 Alpha Papa, straight in for 7 left. Can I stay in the pattern for a few?
So 739 Alpha Papa, Milwaukee Tower, wind 070 at 6, runway 7 left, clear for the option. On the go, make left, close traffic.
7 left, clear for the option, left traffic. Thank you, 9 Papa.
Street 5326.
All right, excellent. We're going to just,
Actually, she could 326, yeah.
we're going to stay in the traffic for the pattern for a little bit. Looks like, where's that Airbus at? He was no, oh, there he is. Very cool. All right, we got to get down. We're pretty high. But cool. Flying right next to the Airbus, parallel with the Airbus.
Southwest 854, ready to go, sequence 7 right.
Southwest 854, Milwaukee Tower, runway 7 right, line of point.
Wait 7 right, Southwest 854.
There's that Airbus just landing on 7 right. We're going to make a left base into 7 left. Yeah, before they were using 1,
Milwaukee Tower, helicopter 6 Mike 0.
so it's nice that they're using 7 now.
Just triple checking that we are good to fly through the TFR for our
Winds. Winds are 050, so it's going to be off to our left.
Great, thanks.
Southwest 854.
All right, time to get down.
Spirit Wing 3784, left turn Tango, contact ground point 8.
Tango, ground point 8, Spirit Wing 3784.
Southwest 854, leaving 2000, turn right heading 210, runway 7 right, clear for takeoff.
7 right, clear for takeoff out of 2000, right turn 210, Southwest 854.
Break air 5703, Milwaukee Tower, runway 7 right, line of point.
Line of point 7 right, break air 5703.
Break air 5703, fly runway heading, runway 7 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear takeoff 7 right, runway heading, break air 5703.
Southwest 4121, Milwaukee Tower, runway 7 right, line of point.
Slip just a little bit. Slip right in there. Excellent, we got flaps up.
Southwest 854, contact.
Away we go.
854, good.
Making left traffic. Trying to get as high as we can.
Southwest 4121, fly runway heading, runway 7 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, 7 right, clear for takeoff, Southwest 4121.
Left traffic. Beautiful landing.
Break air 5703, turn right heading 095. Contact departure, we'll see.
Alright, right turn 095 and over departure, break yard 5703.
Cessna 9 Alpha Papa, wind 050 at 6, runway 7 left, clear for the option.
7 left, clear for the option, 9 Alpha Papa. All right, we are going to do, on the spot, a short field landing. For 7 left.
4121, continue runway heading and contact departure, we'll see.
Continue runway heading over departure, Southwest 4121.
Down to 17. We got flaps coming in to 10. Capture 70. We're going to go flaps to 20 as we turn for base. Now we are flaps to 40. And we are going to hit right on the 7. We're coming down at 65. Try to get to 60 here. We're gonna aim for right before the L. And then come to a full stop. Alright, that was pretty damn good. I'm not going to come to a full stop though. Aileron in, aileron into the wind, Dan.